This video covers the installation and a quick demo of the Twilio SIP to Twilio SIP repo. This repo gives you a starting point on how you could build your own proxy to connect voice calls between two Twilio accounts over SIP. From the repo, git clone or download the source code and then open it up in your IDE. Once you've opened it up, notice the three folders. There's load balanced, single EC2 instance, Twiml bins, which has some samples for setting up a quick demo. We'll start with the README file and see that it's extensive just as far as the details you'll need. Here's the basic call flow from the source Twilio account. We will call that. It will send that to a proxy, and then it will go to the destination Twilio account. You can spin this up with a single EC2 instance or use the load balance approach that uses a network load balancer and two or more EC2 instances and a NAT gateway. And we'll choose that option. We'll open up load balanced and then Terraform. We'll make a copy of the .example file, and then we will rename it to drop the copy and drop the .example, and we'll edit that file. We use a local AWS profile to spin these up, so go ahead and enter that here. Enter some profile, or more specifically your local profile, whatever you name it, in the .aws credentials file. You can refer to the AWS docs if needed. And then importantly, change the destination Twilio domain to this new domain that you're going to spin up in your Twilio destination account. Next, I'll open up a terminal window. I'll CD into the load balanced folder and then into the Terraform folder. And then I'll run the commands to get this project deployed. So I'll run Terraform init. This takes a few seconds. I am editing for time a little bit. Then I will run Terraform plan. And lastly, I'll run Terraform apply, and this will start spinning up your AWS resources. It takes several minutes to spin everything up. You need to enter yes to kick off the deployment. And after a few minutes, once it's done, you'll get an output with helpful information that you need to configure this demo application. Most specifically, the IP addresses. This is what we'll enter in a Twiml bin to send the call from the source to the destination. And scroll up a little bit to reveal the IP address of the NAT gateway that's needed to add an IP ACL for your SIP domain on the destination Twilio account. You can bring up EC2 in your AWS console and see the different resources that have been deployed. Auto-scaling groups, instances, network load balancer, target group, BPC, and more. With the AWS resources deployed, we can now set up a source and destination Twilio accounts to try this out. So in the source account, let's create a Twiml bin. I'll find the Twilio Twiml bins product and then click on Create New Twiml Bin. From the repo code, I'll go into source bin.xml, copy that XML code, head back over to the Twiml bin and paste it in here. I'll edit it to make sure that the syntax is valid. I'll go back to the Terraform output and get the IP address needed to send traffic from the source Twilio account to the proxy. I'll paste that IP address in there and enter a name and save it. Now I need to connect this Twiml bin to a phone number, so I will go over to phone numbers and select a number I've already purchased. If you need a new phone number, you can certainly do that. So I'll select an active number And then for the voice handler, I will select a call comes in, TWIML bin, and then that new TWIML bin I just created. And with that, I'll save it, and the source Twilio account is ready to go. Over on the destination Twilio account, I'll find TWIML bins again, and then I'm going to create 2 new TWIML bins. I'm going to create the second TWIML bin first, because I'm going to point the first TWIML bin to the second TWIML bin. So I'll create new TWIML bin, and then under destination bin 2, I will copy that in the source code. I'm going to call this destination bin 2. And this is basically just saying whatever input is received in 1, we're going to say that back and then say goodbye. So I'll go ahead and enter that code. It's valid. I'll save it. And then I'm going to copy the handler URL because I'm going to point the first bin to the second bin. Copied. And then I will create a second TWIML bin. So I'll copy. This is going to be destination bin 1. And then I'm going to go back and copy the XML code from the repo. First I'll copy the handle in there, save that for later. So here's destination bin 1.xml. I'll copy that. I'll paste it in this TWIML bin, and then I'm going to take the handler URL and I'll replace the TWIML bin URL in the action of this handler. So I'll paste that there. And I will save it. So this bin is going to take the call first and then send it to the second bin asking for a name. So with that, we should be all set to go with the bins. Then we'll move on to SIP domains under voice. We need to add a new SIP domain for this destination account. So we'll grab from the Terraform variables file the name of the destination Twilio domain that we set when we configured this. So I'll go ahead and copy this. And note, this is commented in this screen. It should not be commented when you spin this up yourself. I'll put the same number or same domain name there. It shows available, so it does have to be unique. Make sure you set a unique SIP URI. I'll add a friendly name. And next we will add an ACL for that IP address. This is the IP address from the NAT that was created in AWS. So we'll add a friendly name here. We will then return to the Terraform output and get the IP address of that NAT. So there it is, and this is /32 because it's a single IP address. And we'll add a friendly name, NAT address. So that is the ACL needed for this configuration. And then lastly, we just need to say when a call comes into this SIP domain, what do we want to do with it? And we're going to send it to that first TWIML bin that we just created. So I'll make these changes and I will save it, and we should be ready to try it out. I'll pick up my phone and dial the phone number that we set on the source account, and that's going to call the TWIML bin in the source account, and then it will proxy the call over to the second destination account.
You called the Twilio source account, sending you to the proxy and then onto the destination Twilio account. You made it to the destination Twilio account. What is your name?
Dan Bartlett.
Thank you. Voice input received. You said your name is Dan Bartlett. Goodbye.
If you need to connect a call between 2 Twilio accounts and dial application is not an option, use this repo to start building your own SIP proxy. Thanks for watching.